Tra-la, tra-la. shores will come.
And if ever they get back to Spain, they will never see again. They will never see again.
Neither that grandee from the Spanish shore, the noble Duke of Plaza-Toro,
nor his Grace's Duchess staunch and true, who may add his Grace's daughter too,
Nor his Grace's own particular drum, to Venetia shores will come, to Venetia shores will come.
if ever they get back to Spain, they will never cross the sea again. They will never cross the sea again. They will never cross the sea again.
at last we have arrived at our destination. This is the Ducal Palace, and it is here that the Grand Inquisitor resides. As a Castilian hidalgo of 95 portraits, I regret that I am unable to pay my state visit on a horse. Owing, I can only presume, to an unusually wet season, the streets are in no such condition, and sadly, an equestrian exercise would be impracticable. No matter. Where is our suite?
Oh, Your Grace, I'm here.
Why do you not do yourself the honor to kneel when you address his Grace?
My love, it is so small a matter. Still, you may as well do it.
The young man seems to entertain but an imperfect appreciation of the respect due from a menial to a Castilian hidalgo.
My child, you are hard upon our suite.
But Papa, I have no patience with the presumption of persons in his plebeian position. If he does not appreciate that position, let him be whipped till he does.
Let us hope the omission was not intended as a slight. I should be much hurt if I thought it was. So would he! But where are the halberdiers? You know, man, the halberdiers who would have had the honor of escorting us here, that our visit to the Grand Inquisitor might be made in a becoming state. And with it.
Your Grace, the halberdiers are a mercenary people who stipulated for a trifle on account.
How tiresome. Well, let us hope that the Grand Inquisitor is a blind gentleman. But the band, eh? The band who were to meet us here. I see no band. Come on.
Your Grace, the band are assorted persons who require to be paid in advance.
That's so like a band.
You difficulties meet me at every turn.
But surely they know his Grace.
Precisely, they know His Grace.
A cornet piston would be something. You do not possess the accomplishment of tootling like a cornet piston.
Alas, no, but I can imitate a farmyard.
I don't see how that would help us. I don't see how we could bring it in.
It would not help us in the least. We are not a parcel of graziers come to market, dolt.
My child, you are hard upon our sweet. His feelings, there. Be so good as to ting the bell and inform the Grand Inquisitor that His Grace, the Duke of Plaza-Toro, Count Matadoro, Baron Picadoro,
And sweet.
and Sweet have arrived in Venice and seek
Desire. Demands.
and demand an audience.
Your Grace is about to command.
I felt sure of it, I felt sure of it. Well, off you go! And now, my love, shall we tell her? Yes, our aunt. My child! Prepare yourself for a most magnificent surprise. It is my agreeable duty to reveal to you a... Oh dear. A secret which shall make you the happiest young lady in all of Venice.
A secret? A secret which, for state reasons, it has been necessary to preserve for 20 years.
When you were a prattling babe of about 6 months, babe, you were betrothed and then married by proxy to no less a person than the infant son and only heir of His Majesty, the immeasurably wealthy King of Barataria.
Married to the infant son of the King of Barataria? Was I consulted? Then it's a most unpardonable liberty.
Oh, consider his extreme youth and forgive him. Not long after the ceremony took place, that misguided monarch abandoned the creed of his forefathers and became a Wesleyan Methodist, but the most bigoted and persecuted kind. Oh, anyway, the Grand Inquisitor determined that the innovation should not be perpetuated in Barataria, absconded with your husband and brought him here to Venice. Not long after that, that Methodist monarch and all of his Wesleyan court were killed in an insurrection. And so, we are here to ascertain the whereabouts of your husband and to hail you, our daughter, as Her Majesty, the reigning Queen of Barataria.
Your Majesty.
It is at moments such as these that one is convinced of the truly necessary party of travelling with a full band.
But I, the Queen of Barataria, but I've nothing to wear. We are practically penniless.
No, my child, it's quite all right. Though we are in straitened financial circumstances at present, my social influence is something enormous, and so a company to be called the Duke of Plaza-Toro Limited is in the course of formation. An influential directorate has already been secured, and I myself shall join the board after the allotment. Ooh.
But am I to understand that the Queen of Barataria may be called upon at any time to witness her own sire in the process of liquidation?
The speculation is not exempt from that drawback. If your father should stop, it will, of course, be necessary to wind him up.
But it's so degrading, it's so undignified. A grandee of Spain turned into a public company. Such a thing was never heard of.
My child, the Duke of Plaza-Toro does not follow fashions. He leads them. Yeah, he always leads everybody. When he was in the army, he led his regiment. Occasionally led them into battle. Invariably led them out of it. In enterprise of martial kind, when there was any fight, he led his regiment from behind. He found it less exciting. But when away his regiment ran, his place was at the Forum, that celebrated, cultivated, underrated the Duke of Plaza-Toro.
In the first and foremost light, he always found that night, that celebrated, cultivated, underrated nobleman, the Duke of Plaza-Toro.
When to evade destruction's hand, to hide they all proceeded. No soldier in that gallant band hit half as well as he did. He lay concealed throughout the war, and so preserved his Toro, that unaffected, undetected, well-connected warrior, the Duke of Plaza-Toro.
In every doughty deed, he always took the lead. That unaffected, undetected, well-connected warrior, the Duke of Plaza-Toro.
March, damn your eyes! When told that they would all be shot unless they left the service, that hero hesitated not, so marvelous his nerve. He sent his resignation in the first of all his Toro, that very knowing, overflowing, easygoing paladin, the Duke of Plaza-Toro.
To men of close acclaim, he always showed the way. That very knowing, overflowing, easygoing paladin, the Duke of Plaza-Toro. That very knowing, overflowing, easygoing paladin, the Duke of Plaza-Toro.
March up!
Nay, Luiz, it may not be. I have embraced you for the last time.
Casilda?
I have just learnt, to my surprise and indignation, that I was wed in babyhood to the infant son of the King of Barataria.
The King of Barataria? The child who stole you in infancy by the Inquisition?
The same, but of course you know his story.
Know his story? Why, I've often told you, my mother was the very nurse to whose charge he was entrusted.
True, I had forgotten. Well, he has been discovered, and my father's brought me here to claim his hand.
Surely you will not recognize this match. It took place when you were far too young to understand its import.
Nay, Luiz, respect my principles and cease to torture me with vain entreaty. Henceforth, my life is another's.
Stay. The present and the future, they are another's, but the past, that belongs to us alone. And none can take it from us. If we can revel in naught else, let us revel in that.
I don't think I grasp your meaning.
And yet it's logical enough. You say you ceased to love me.
I say I may not love you.
Ah, but you do not say you did not love me.
Oh, I loved you with a frenzy that words are powerless to express, and that but 10 brief minutes since.
My own, or until 10 minutes ago, my own, my lately loved, my recently adored. Tell me that until, say, quarter of an hour ago, I was all in all to thee.
Oh, I see your idea. It's ingenious. Oh, but don't do that!
There can be no harm in reveling in the past.
None whatever. But an embrace cannot be taken to act retrospectively.
Perhaps not.
I mean, we can recollect an embrace. I recollect many, but we must not repeat them.
Then, let us recollect a few. Oh, Casilda, you were to me as the sun is to the earth.
A quarter of an hour ago?
About that, yes.
Oh, and to think, if it wasn't for this miserable discovery, you would have been my own for life.
Through life, until death, a quarter of an hour ago.
Oh, how greedily my thirsty ears would drunk the golden melody of those sweet words. A quarter of an hour. Oh, I suppose about 20 minutes since now.
About that, yes. In matters such as this, one cannot be too precise.
And now our love, so full of life, is but a silent, solemn memory.
Must it be so, Casilda?
Louis, it must be so.
Don Alhambra de Bolero, the Grand Inquisitor of Spain. It was his distinction who so thoughtfully abstracted your infant husband and brought him here to Venice.
So this is the little lady that is so unexpectedly called upon to assume the functions of royalty. Very nice little lady, too.
Yeah, pretty, isn't she?
Very pretty. Allow me. Naughty temper.
Your distinction, you must make some allowance. Her Majesty's head is a little turned by her access of dignity.
I could have wished that Her Majesty's access of dignity had turned it in this direction.
If I am not mistaken, there appears to be some little doubt as to His Majesty's whereabouts.
Doubt as to his whereabouts? Oh, then we may yet be saved.
Doubt? Oh dear, no. No doubt at all. He is here in Venice, a fine demolished yet picturesque calling of a gondolier. I can give you his address. I see him every day. In the entire annals of our history, there is no circumstance so entirely free from all manner of doubt whatever. Listen, and I will tell you all about it. I stole a prince and I brought him here and left him gaily proud with a highly respectable gondolier who promised the royal babe to win and teach him the trade of a timoneer with his own beloved wrap. Both of the babes were strong and stout, considering all things clever. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
But owing I much disposed to fear for his terrible taste for tippling, that highly respectable gondolier could never declare with a mind sincere which of the two was offspring dear, and which the royal stripling. Which was which he could never make out, in spite his best endeavour. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
Time sped, and when at the end of the year I sought that infant cherished, that highly respectable gondolier was lying a corpse on his humble bier, I dropped a grand inquisitor's tear. That gondolier had perished, a tasteful drink combined with gout had doubled him up forever. Of that there is no manner of doubt, no probable possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
No possible doubt whatever.
The children followed his old career, this statement can't be parried. The highly respectable gondolier, well, one of the two who will soon be here. But which of the two it is not quite clear is the royal prince you married. Search in and out and round about, and you'll discover never a tale so free from every doubt, no possible probable shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
A tale so free from every doubt, no possible shadow of doubt, no possible doubt whatever.
So, am I to understand that I am married to one of two gondoliers, but it's impossible to say which?
Without any doubt of any kind whatever. But be reassured, the nurse to whom your husband was entrusted is none other than the mother of that musical young man, with such a past master at that delicately modulated instrument. She can establish the king's identity without question.
How in heavens do you know that?
My good fellow, Grand Inquisitor is always up to date. She is at present the wife of a highly respectable and old-established brigand who carries out an extensive practice in the mountains around Bolero. Along with two of my emissaries, he shall set off at once for her address. She will return with him. And if she has any trouble making up her mind, the persuasive influence of the torture chamber will jog her memory.
But bless my heart, consider my position. I am the wife of one, that's very clear. But who can tell, except my intuition, which is the prince and which the gondolier?
Submit to fate without unseemly wrangle. Such complications frequently occur. Life is one closely complicated tangle. Death is the only true unraveler.
Try we lifelong, we can never straighten out thy tangled skein. Why should we ring, full of lungs, there's a canker that benumbs, wherefore with some elocution on impossible solution, life's a pleasant institution. Let us take it as it comes. Let us take it as
He's a chrysalis. He can't be said to live. He exists. What a delightful institution marriage is. Why have we wasted all of this time? Why didn't we marry 10 years ago?
Because you couldn't find anybody nice enough. Yes, because you were waiting for us.
I suppose that was the reason. We were waiting for you without knowing it. Oh, hello.
Good morning.
If this gentleman is an undertaker, it's a bad omen.
Ceremony of some sort going on?
He is an undertaker. No, just a little unimportant family gathering. Nothing in your line.
Somebody's birthday, I suppose.
Yes, mine and mine.
And mine. And mine.
Glorious coincidence. How old may you all be?
Well, that's a rude question. But about 10 minutes.
Remarkably fine children. Surely you are jesting.
In other words, we've been married about 10 minutes since.
Married? You don't mean to say you are married?
Yes, we are married.
What, both of you?
All four of us!
Well, bless my heart, how extremely awkward.
You don't mind, I suppose. You weren't thinking of either of us for yourself, were you? Oh, Giuseppe, look. He was. He's heartbroken.
No, wasn't.
Now, my man, we don't want anything in your line today. So if your curiosities are quite satisfied, you can go.
You mustn't call me your man. It's a limit. I don't think you know who I am.
Not we indeed. We are jolly Gondoliers, sons of Battista Palmieri, who led the last revolution. Republicans, heart and soul, we hold all men to be equal. As we abhor oppression, we abhor kings. As we detest vainglory, we detest rank. And as we despise effeminacy, we despise wealth. We are Venetian Gondoliers, your equals in everything except our calling, and in that, at once, your masters and your servants.
One of you may be Baptisto's son, for all I know to the contrary. But the other is no less a personage than the only son to the late King of Plaza-Toro.
What?
And I trust that one that tapped me on the shoulder and called me his man.
What about it? But which is it?
What does it matter? Since you are both Republicans and hold kings in detestation, you'll abdicate at once. Good morning.
Well, as to that, of course there are kings and kings. When I say that I detest kings, I mean I detest bad kings.
I see a delicate distinction.
Quite so. Now, I can conceive a kind of king, an ideal king, a creature of my fancy, you know, who would be absolutely unobjectionable. A king, for instance, who would abolish all taxes and make everything cheap, except gondolas, and give a great many free entertainments to the gondoliers, and let off fireworks on the Grand Canals, and engage all the gondolas for the occasion, and scramble money on the Rialto among the gondoliers. Such a king would be a blessing to his people, and if I were king, that is the sort of king I would be. And so would I.
I'm glad to see your objections are not insuperable.
No, they're not insuperable.
No, they're not got any submarines.
Besides, we are open to conviction.
Yes, they are open to conviction. Oh, they've often been convicted.
Our views may have been hastily formed on insufficient grounds. They may be crude, ill-digested, erroneous. I have a poor opinion of the politician who is not open to conviction.
He is a fine fellow. Yes, that's the type of politician for my money.
Then we'll consider it settled. Now, as the country is in a state of insurrection, it is imperative that you assume the reins of government at once. And until it is ascertained which of you will be king, I have arranged for you to reign jointly, sir. No actions will be questioned hereafter.
As one individual?
As one individual.
Like this.
Something like that?
And we may take our friends with us and give them places around the court?
Undoubtedly, it is often done.
I'm convinced, so am I.
Well then, the sooner off the better. Yes, we'll just go pack a few things.
Stop! Ladies are not admitted.
What?
Not at present. After time, perhaps, we'll see.
What Why, you don't mean you're going to separate us from our wives, do you?
Oh dear, only for a time. Few months. After all, what is a few months?
Oh, we've only been married for half an hour. And so you cannot have the heart, our lives to part from those to whom an hour ago we were united. Far from our flowing hopes you step, and look at them, and 'twas before you did this blue all uninvited. You men can never understand that heart and hand cannot be separated when we go yearning. You see, you only woman's eyes to idolize, and only woman's hearts. You men to set you are burning. Oh me, you men can never understand that woman's heart is one with woman's hand. Some kind of charm you seem to find in womankind, some kind of unexplained delight, unless you're jesting. But what attracts you, I confess, I cannot guess. To me, a woman's face is quite uninteresting. If from my sister I were torn, it could be borne. I would no doubt be horrified, but I could bear it. But Marcus quite another thing. He is my king, he has my heart, and none will ever share it. Oh me, you men can never understand that woman's heart is one with woman's hand.
Do not give way to this uncalled for grief. Your separation will be very brief. To ascertain which is the king and which the other. To Valentinia's court I bring his foster mother. His former nursling to declare she'll be delighted. That settled, let each happy pair be reunited.
Viva, his argument is strong. Viva, will not be parted long. Viva, it will be settled soon. Viva, then comes a honeymoon. Viva, viva, viva! Then one of us will be a queen and sit on a golden throne, with a crown instead of a hat on her head and diamonds on her own, with a beautiful robe of gold and green. I've always understood. I wonder whether she'll wear a feather. I rather think she should. Oh, 'tis a glorious thing I mean to be a regular royal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair, but a right down regular royal queen.
She'll ride about in a carriage and pair with the king on her left-hand side, and a milk-white horse is a matter of course wherever she wants to ride, with beautiful silver shoes to wear upon her dainty feet, and endless stocks of beautiful frocks, and as much she wants to eat.
Oh, 'tis a glorious thing I mean to be a regular royal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair, but right down regular royal queen. Whenever she condescends to walk, be sure to shine at that, with a haughty stare and a nose in the air like a well-born aristocrat. At elegant high society talk, she'll bear away the veil
scrape and bow and double themselves in two, and open their eyes in blank surprise at whatever she likes to do. And everybody will roundly vow she's fair as flowers in May, and say how clever at whatsoever she condescends to say. Oh, 'tis the glorious thing I mean to be a regular royal queen. No half and half affair, I mean no half and half affair, but right down regular, 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 regular royal queen. Oh, 'tis a glorious thing I mean to be a regular royal queen, a right of regular royal let's away,
elates me. Conflicting feelings rend my soul apart. The thought of royal dignity elates me. But leaving thee behind me breaks my heart.
Farewell, my love, on board you must be getting. But while upon the sea you gaily roam, remember that I
impunity, who put their subjects at their ease by doing all they can to please. And thus to earn their bread, and she sees every opportunity. And thus to earn their bread, and she sees every opportunity. We act in perfect unity. We act in perfect unity. Of happiness, of any pain, and bagatelle you may see, a monarchy that's tempered with Republican equality, Republican equality, tempered with equality. Gentlemen, we are very much obliged to you for your expressions of satisfaction and good feeling. I said, we are very much obliged to you for your expressions of satisfaction and good feeling.
We are you!
We are delighted at any time to fall in with sentiments so charmingly expressed.
That's right.
At the same time, there is just one little grievance that we should like to ventilate.
What?
Don't be alarmed, it's not serious. It has been arranged that until it is decided which of us two is the actual king, we are to act as one person. Exactly. Now, although we act as one person, we are in point of fact two persons.
I don't think we can go into that. It is a legal fiction, and legal fictions are solemn things. Situated as we are, we cannot recognize two independent responsibility.
No, but you can recognize two independent appetites. It's all very well saying we act as one person, but when you should supply us with only one ration between us, I should describe it as a legal fiction carried a little too far.
It's rather a nice point. I don't like to go into it offhand. Suppose you reserve it for judgment before the full court.
Yes, but what are we to do in the meantime? We want our tea!
I suggest we make an interim order for His Majesty's entering into the usual undertaking to indemnify in the event of adverse decisions.
That, I think, will meet the case. But you must work hard. Stick to it. Nothing like work.
Oh, certainly. We quite understand that a man who holds the magnificent position of king should do something to justify it. We are called Your Majesty. We are allowed to buy ourselves magnificent clothes. Our subjects frequently nod to us in the streets, and the sentries always return our salutes. And we enjoy the inestimable privilege of heading the subscription list to all the principal charities. In return for these advantages, the least we can do is make ourselves useful around the palace. Rising early in the morning, we proceed to light the fire. Then our Majesty, adorning in his work-a-day attire, we embark without delay on the duties of the day. First, we polish up some batches of political dispatches and foreign politicians circumvent. Then if business isn't heavy, we may hold a royal levy or ratify some acts of parliament. Then we'll probably review the household troops with the usual shout-a-hoops, and receive a ceremonial and state an interesting eater potentate. After that we generally go and dress our private valley. It's a rather nervous duty, he's a touchy little man. He's a little ready for a private secretary. He is shaky in his spelling, so we help him if we can. Then in view of cravings dinner, we go down and order dinner. Then we polish the regalia and the coronation plate. Spend an hour in debating all our gentlemen in waiting while we run our little errands for the ministers of state. Oh, Philosophers may sing of the troubles of the king, yet the duties are delightful and the privilege is great. But the privilege and pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is to run our little errands for the ministers of state.
Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of the king, yet the duties are delightful and the privilege is great. And the privilege and pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is to run our little errands for the ministers of state.
After luncheon, making merry on a bun and glass and sherry, if we've nothing in particular to do, we may make a proclamation and receive a deputation, then we possibly create a peer or two. Then we help a fellow creature on his path, with the garter or the thistle or the bath. Then we dress and toddle off in semi-state to a festival, a function, or a fete. Then we go and stand at sentry at the palace, private committee, marching hither, marching thither, up and down and to and fro, while the warrior on duty goes in search of beer and beauty, and it generally happens that he hasn't far to go. He relieves us if he's able, just in time to lay the table. Then we dine and serve the coffee, and at 12:01. With a pleasure that's emphatic, we retire to our attic with the gratifying feeling that our duty has been done. Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of the king, yet of pleasures there are many, and of worries there are none. But the culminating pleasure that we treasure beyond measure is the gratifying feeling that our duty has been done.
Oh, philosophers may sing of the troubles of the king, but of pleasures there are many, and of worries there are none. But the culminating pleasure that we treasure beyond measure
is the gratifying feeling that our duty has been done. Yes, it is a very pleasant existence. They are also singularly kind and considerate. You don't find them wanting to do this, or wanting to do that, or saying, it's my turn now. No, they let us have all the fun to ourselves and never seem to grudge it. It makes one feel rather selfish. It almost feels like taking advantage of their good nature. How nice they were about the double rations. Most considerate. There is only one thing left for wanting to make us thoroughly comfortable. That is, the dear little wives we left behind us 3 months ago. Yes, it is very dull without female society. We can do without everything else, but we can't do without that. And if we have that perfection, then we have everything. There is only one recipe for perfect happiness. Take a pair of sparkling eyes, hidden ever and anon in the merciful eclipse. Do not heed their mock surprise, having passed the Rubicon. Take a pair of rosy lips. Take a figure trimly planned, such as admiration wets. Be particular in this. Take a tender little hand, fringed with dainty fingerets. Press it, in parenthesis. Take and keep them if you can, Take all these, you lucky man, take and keep them if you can, Take a pretty little coat, quite a miniature affair, hung about with trellised vine. Furnish it upon the spot with the treasures rich and rare I've endeavored to define. Live to love and love to live, you will ripen at your
interesting, tell us all about it. Everything is interesting, tell us all about it.
There's a wonder one interesting till you tell us never touch it. Everything is interesting,
Tell us all about it. Everything is interesting, tell us all about it.
tell us all.
This is indeed a most delightful surprise.
We thought you'd like it, because you see it was like this. After you left, we felt very dull and mopey. The days crawled by and you never wrote. So eventually, I said to Gianetta, I can't stand this any longer. Those two poor monarchs haven't got anyone to patch their clothes or sew on their buttons or fix their stockings. At least, I hope they haven't. So, let us pack up change and see how they're getting on. And she said, done! And then they all said, done! And then I went and asked old Giacomo if I could borrow his boat, and he said,
Done!
so, now we sailed across the sea, and thank goodness that's done. And, well, now we're here, so I'm done. And now, which one of you is to be a king? And which of us is queen?
That we shan't know until the nurse turns up. But never mind that. The real question is, how are we going to celebrate the commencement of our honeymoon? Gentlemen, will you allow us to offer you a magnificent banquet?
We will!
Thank you very much. And to our ladies, what do you say to a dance?
Ooh, banquet and a dance, it's too much
Fandango, Bolero, series to Tanzania, Montero. Why waiting from take abundance and hearts in the reckless delight of our modest love dances. To the prison party, to the prison party. All series will drink Tanzania, Montero, for wine when it runs in abundance. Enhances the reckless delight of the wildest of dances, the proudest of dances, the reckless delight. Danza, cachucha, fandango, bolero, series will drink Tanzania, Montero. Wine when it runs in abundance, enhances the reckless delight of the wildest of dances. All series will drink Tanzania, Montero, for wine when it runs in abundance. Enhances the reckless delight of the wildest of dances, the reckless delight of the wildest of dances.
But I saw a groom dancing a footman.
Oh, that's the Lord High Footman.
And dear common little drummer boy.
Oh, no, that's the Lord High Drummer Boy.
But surely the servants' hall is a place for all these gentry.
Oh, dear no. We have appropriated the servants' hall. It's called the Royal Apartment, and accessible only by tickets, obtainable from the Lord Chamberlain's office. Yeah, we really must have some place to call our own.
I'm afraid I'm not quite up to the intellectual quality of this conversation.
You see, the monarchy has been remodeled on republican principles. All departments rank equally, and everyone is at the head of their department. can I offer you anything after your voyage? A plate of macaroni and a rusk.
No, nothing.
Obliged to be careful.
Yes, gout. You see, in every court there are certain distinctions that must be observed.
There are there?
Why, of course. You couldn't have a Lord High Chancellor playing leapfrog with his own cook.
And why not?
Why not? A Lord High Chancellor is a personage of great dignity, who should never be put in a position to be told to tuck in his tuppenny, except by another member of nobility. A Lord High Archbishop may perhaps tell a Lord High Chancellor to tuck in his tuppenny, but not a cook. Certainly not a cook.
Not even a Lord High cook.
My dear fellow, that is not a position recognized by the Lord Chamberlain's office. No, it won't do. I shall give you an instance where the experiment was once tried. There lived a king, as I've been told, in the wonder working days of old, where hearts were twice as good as gold, and 20 times as mellow. Good temper triumphed in his face, and in his heart he found a place for all the erring human race, and every wretched fellow. When he had Rhenish wine to drink, it made him very sad to think that some at junket or at gin must be content with toddy.
With toddy, must be content with toddy.
He wished all men as rich as he, but he was rich as rich could be. So to the top of every tree promoted everybody.
Now that's the kind of king for me. He wished all men as rich as he. So to the top of every tree promoted everybody.
Lord Chancellors were as cheap as France, and bishops in the shovel house were plentiful as tabby cats, in point of fact too many. Ambassadors dropped on like hen, prime ministers and such as men, who like asparagus in May, and dukes were 3 a penny. On every side field marshals clean small beer to Lord Lieutenant's team, with admirals all the ocean team, all round his wide opinion.
With admirals all round his right opinion.
And party leaders you might meet in 2s or 3s in every street, maintaining with no little heat their various opinions.
Now that's a sight you couldn't beat, 2 party leaders in each street, maintaining with no little heat their various opinions.
This king, although no one denied, his heart was of abnormal size, yet he'd have acted otherwise if he had been acute. The end is easily foretold when every blessed thing you hold is made of silver or of gold. You long for simple pewter when you have nothing else to wear but cloth of gold and satin thread. Cloth of gold you cease to, and up goes the price of shoddy.
Of shoddy, up goes the price of shoddy.
In short, whoever you may be, to this conclusion you'll agree. When everyone is somebody, then no one's anybody.
Now that's as plain can be. To this conclusion we agree. When everyone is somebody, then no one's anybody.
His Grace the Duke of Plaza-Toro, Her Grace the Duchess, and their beautiful daughter Casilda will be here at any moment. I said their beautiful daughter Casilda.
We heard you.
Will be here at any moment to play
The Duke and Duchess are nothing to us.
But the daughter, the beautiful daughter. Ah, you're a lucky dog, one of you.
I think you're a very incomprehensible old gentleman.
Not a bit. I'll explain. Many years ago when you, whichever you are, were a baby, you, whichever you are, were married to a young girl who has turned out to be the most beautiful young girl in Spain. That young lady will be here to claim you, whichever you are, in half an hour. And I congratulate you, whichever it is, with all my heart.
Married as a baby? But we were married 3 months ago.
Only one. The other is an unintentional bigamy.
Well, upon my word!
Oh, who are these young women?
Who are we? Why, their wives, of course. We've just arrived.
How extremely awkward.
You mean to tell me that one of these monarchs was already married?
Neither of us is going to be a queen.
That is the idea I intended to convey.
Oh, Tessa, my dear, dear child.
Get away! Perhaps it's you.
My poor little woman.
It knows whose husband you are.
Pray do tell. Why didn't you tell us this before they left Venice?
Because if I had, no earthly temptation would have persuaded these two gentlemen to leave such fascinating young ladies.
There's something in that.
I will say that you will not be kept waiting long. The nurse to whom the king was entrusted is at present in my torture chamber waiting for my interview.
Poor old girl. Hadn't you better go and put her out of her suspense?
Not a bit. She's all right. She's got all the illustrated papers. Oh, very well. But while I do, can I suggest absolute propriety in considering yourself as single, young lady? Good evening.
Well, here's a pleasant state of things.
Delightful. One of us is married to 2 young ladies, and nobody knows who. One of us is married to 1 young lady whom nobody can identify.
And one of us is married to one of you, and the other to nobody.
But which of us is married to which of you, and what's to become of the other?
It's quite simple. Observe. 2 husbands have managed to acquire 3 wives. 3 wives, 2 husbands. That's 2/3 of a husband to each wife.
Oh, most serious, here we are in a requisite. My good sir, one cannot marry a vulgar fraction.
You have no right to call me a vulgar fraction. We are getting rather mixed. The situation is entangled. Let's try and comb it out.
That young lady marries to receive her can't refuse.
that His Grace the Duke of Plaza-Toro, Count Matadoro, Baron Picadoro, Limited, has arrived and begs,
desires,
Demands.
and demands an audience! An audience! Open it! Be gone! Audience! I'll have the one of you. Oh, my child, prepare yourself to meet the husband to whom you were united under such interesting and romantic circumstances.
But which is it? There are two of them.
It is true that at present His Majesty is a double gentleman, but as soon as the circumstances of his birth can be ascertained, he will, ipso facto, boil down to a single gentleman. Thus, presenting a unique set of circumstances by which one individual can become a single man and a married man by the same operation.
I have known instances in which the characteristics of both conditions existed concurrently in the same individual.
Well, it couldn't have been a Plaza-Toro.
Oh, couldn't we though?
extraordinary what unprepossessing people one can love if one puts one's mind to it.
I loved your father.
My love? That remark is a little hard, I think. Rather cruel, perhaps.
It was very difficult, my dear, but I said to myself, that man is a Jew, and I will love him. Several of my relations bet me I couldn't, but I did, desperately. On the day when I was wedded to your admirable sire, I acknowledge that I dreaded an explosion of his eye. I was overcome with panic, my temper was volcanic, and I didn't dare revolt, for I feared a thunderbolt. I was always very wary, for his fury was ecstatic, his refined vocabulary was unpleasantly emphatic. To the thunder of his Tartar, I knocked under like a water. When intently he was fuming, I was gently unassuming. When reviling me completely, I was smiling very sweetly. I was smiling very sweetly, giving him the very best and getting back the very worst. That is how I tried to take my genitor at first. Giving him the very best and getting back the very worst. That is how I tried to take my genitor. But I found the term reliance on my threatening appearance, and a resolute defiance of my mental interference, and a gentle intimation of my full determination to see what I could do to be wife and husband too, was the only thing required for to make his temper supple, and you couldn't have desired a more reciprocating couple, ever willing to be wooing. We were billing, we were wooing. When I nearly from him parted, we were nearly broken-hearted. When in single reunited, we were equally delighted. We were equally delighted, So we double shot the guns and colors down to the bars, to take your insignificant progenitor at last. So we double shot the guns and colors down to the bars, and take your insignificant progenitor. My only hope is that when my husband finds out what a shady family this is, he will repudiate the contact altogether.
Shady? A nobleman shady? A nobleman shady who is blazing in the lustre of unaccustomed pocket money? A nobleman shady who could look back upon 95 quarterings? It is not every nobleman who could look back upon 95 of them. And this, just as I have been floated at a premium. Oh, fine.
Your Majesty is surely unaware that directly your Majesty's father came before the public, he was applied for over and over again.
My love, Her Majesty's father was much in the habit of being applied for over and over again, long before he was registered under the Limited Liability Act. To help unhappy commoners and add to their enjoyment, affords a man of noble rank congenial employment. Of my work I've to offer you examples illustrative. The work is light, but I may add, it's most remunerative. Small titles and orders for mayors and recorders I get, and they're highly delighted. baroneted, sham colonels gazetted, and second-rate alderman knighted.
Yes, alderman knighted.
Foundation stone laying, I find very paying, it adds a large sum to my making.
Large sum to his making.
At charity dinners, the best of speech spinners, I get 10% on the taking.
1/10 of the takings. At middle class party, I play at carty, and I'm by no means a beginner.
She's not a beginner.
To one of my station, the remuneration, 5 guineas a night and my dinner.
And wine with her dinner.
I write letters blatant on medicines patent, and use any other you mustn't.
Believe me, you mustn't.
And vow my complexion derives its perfection from soap and soap, which it doesn't.
It certainly doesn't. We are ready as witness to anyone's fitness to fit any place or preferment.
A place of referment. We're often in waiting and junket or fating, and sometimes attended interment.
We enjoy an interment.
In short, the kingdom, the scarf, the swindle, the slip, to take your clutches, you stay to your clutches. Or woodwind a debtor, you cannot do better. Trot out a duke or a duchess,
A duke
or a duchess.
Their Majesties, Your Majesty,
The Duke of Plaza-Toro, I presume?
the very same. Allow me to present
The young lady one of us has married.
Gentlemen, I am the most obedient servant of one of you. Oh, all of you.
I am now about to address myself to the gentleman whom my daughter married. The other may allow his attention to wander if he likes, for what I have to say does not concern him. Sir, you will find in this young lady a combination of excellencies which you would search for in vain in any young lady who had not the good fortune to be my daughter. There is some little doubt as to which of you is the gentleman who is allowing his attention to wander and which of you is not. But when that doubt is solved, I shall say, still addressing the attentive gentleman, now take her, sir, and may she make you happier than her mother has made me. If possible. And now I think there is a slight matter to which I think I am entitled to take exception. I come here in state with my wife, Her Grace the Duchess, and Her Majesty the Queen, my daughter. And what do I find? Do I find, for instance, a guard of honor to receive me? No.
No.
Refreshments provided? No.
No.
A royal salute fired? No.
No.
Triumphal arches erected? No.
No.
The town illuminated? No.
No.
The bell set ringing?
No!
Yes! One! The doorbell! And I rang it myself! It is not enough, sirs! It is not enough!
On my honor, I'm very sorry. But you see, I was brought up in a gondola, so my ideas of politeness are confined to that of taking off my cap to my passengers when they tip me.
That's all very well in its way, but it is not enough.
Not enough.
I'll take off anything else, within reason. No!
But a royal salute to my daughter, man, it costs so little.
Papa, I don't want a salute.
My dear sir, as soon as we know which one of us is entitled to take that liberty, she shall have as many salutes as she likes. And as for guards of honor and triumphal arches, you don't understand our people. They won't take it. They are very offhand with us, very offhand indeed.
Ah, but you mustn't allow that. No, you must keep them in proper discipline. You must impress your court with your importance. You want deportment, carriage.
We've got a carriage.
No, manner, dignity. There must be a good deal of this sort of thing. Perhaps a little of this sort of thing. And perhaps just a soupçon of this sort of thing. Yes, it's just attend to me. You are a king. A king. The one with the crown. The one off the coins. The king. Yes, and I am a subject. Yes, very good.
Gentlemen, I am bound to listen to you, but it is right to tell you that, not knowing I was married in infancy, I am over head and ears in love with somebody else.
Our case is exactly. We are over head and ears in love with somebody else too. In point of fact, our wives.
Your wives? And you are married?
It's not our fault.
We knew nothing about it.
We are sisters in misfortune!
My good girls, I don't blame you, but we really have to come to some sort of agreement. Otherwise, this is going to get very complicated.
Here is a case unprecedented, here the king and queen is gone. Ever since marriage was first invented, never was known a case so hard.
I may be said to have been bisected by a profound catastrophe.
Through a calamity unaffected, I am divisible into three.
I may be said to have been
us rejoice and brave, each other contradicting, to those whom we adore, we can be reunited. On one point rather sore, but on the whole delighted. When others claimed thy dainty hand, I waited, waited, waited.